Hey guys, it's been a while since I have done a vlog in the car. That is kind of two reasons. One, because my phone there for a while, I had mentioned, was having an issue with memory. So I couldn't use my phone and I would always forget to bring like the regular camera. And then for the last several weeks, I've been, now that I think my phone's okay, fingers crossed, the thing that holds my phone, we put it in the very back in those little cubes, which you know what I'm talking about if you've seen my car organization video. So anyway, I'm gonna have to put my sunglasses on because I'm totally squinting, which then also reminds me I might be time for some Botox. So anyway, I just threw on a tiny bit of like mascara. I have on Chit Cosmetics CC cream, and I think I really jacked up my eyebrows not paying attention today, so they look weird. Okay, so even though it's overcast, you know me, I'm always squinting, so I have very sensitive eyes, light eyes. I like that too, and I'm on kind of this road, it's a little bumpy. But anyway, I'm going to get gas. My gas light came on, of course, right before we pulled in the other day, which I hate that. I don't like leaving, having my car that low on gas. So I'm going to get gas, just running a couple of really quick errands, but I just kind of wanted to do some updates. I owe you guys an update on my thyroid. If you remember a couple of months ago, I think I mentioned it in a favorites that I was going to, because when I talked about a new thyroid book, I was going to a new doctor. I was going to a functional medicine doctor. For those of you who have been with me a while and keeping up, and I know some of you only maybe watch for thyroid talk because you have hypothyroidism too. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed in August, and I was seeing an endocrinologist, which was great at first. I mean, he was like the only one that would listen to me. I'd been to other doctors. They want to tell you you're fine. You know, that's like a whole other long story that I have videos about. But I don't know. I felt like, you know, we were just going in circles because most of you know I'd said since March of this year, I just really wasn't feeling that great. And I had talked about in another kind of chit-chatty vlog style video that, you know, just some symptoms I was having. And a lot of you thought, oh, it sounds like perimenopause, which it totally could be. But the bad thing is thyroid issues and perimenopause issues can be one and the same. They kind of mimic each other. But from everything I've always read and researched and, you know, hearing from other doctors is you need to get your thyroid in check first to then see what other hormonal issues you could be having. So anyway, went to a new doctor, a functional medicine doctor, really liked him, switched my medication. So I was on Synthroid, which worked for me for a while, but I'd also read too that sometimes it doesn't, you know, it might work at first, then it quits, whatever. So now I'm on Nature Thyroid, and he actually, reduced my dosage because my very last lab test, like several months ago, my lab tests were pretty good. Some of the numbers were a little bit off, but I mean, pretty good. For some reason, right before I went to see him, I was actually showing signs of being hyperthyroid. So my TSH was like extremely low, way too low. Most doctors like it to be between like 1 and 2. Or, you know, it could be right around 1 a little, but they don't like it to go too much farther. I know some of this may not make any sense to any of you, but some of you know what I'm talking about. And my T4 was way too high and all this. And I can get more into labs if you want me to do a separate video. So anyway, switched my medication. Just went in a week ago for new lab tests. So I'd been on Nature Thyroid, a lower dose of thyroid medication altogether for 2 months. And, numbers looked great. My T3 is still a slight bit low, but it's still in normal range. He'd like it to be a little bit higher, but he didn't want to up the dosage because everything else looked good. And I would say probably the beginning of October is when I started feeling a little bit better. So, okay, now I'm at the pump and I will continue this when I'm finished pumping gas. Okay. So anyway, I've been on new medication. I think I'm starting to feel better. So I was talking to him about getting off birth control again, because I've mentioned to you guys for I don't know how many years, I get on and off it, especially as I'm getting older, to see, you know, do I really need it as far as controlling, you know, major PMS symptoms, which is really why I've been on it my whole life. I mean, besides birth control, for me, it's more about controlling major PMS symptoms. And for me, it's always been like horrendous cramps, headache, bloating, all that stuff. So anyway, so last month I had a mammogram and I had to go back in for an ultrasound, which I know can be common, but you know, it kind of scares you a little bit. I didn't want to think anything negative, but it wasn't something that I had felt. It was on the same side that I've had an ultrasound done before, when I've felt, you know, more of a lump and everything. And of course that turned out to be negative too. So this just turned out to be like, you know, dense breast tissue in a certain spot, but it, you know, showed up. It kind of always is in the back of my mind about being on the pill, that I definitely don't need any extra estrogen in my body, give me freaking breast cancer, you know. Even though the pill I'm on has more progesterone than estrogen, but you're still getting a little extra. So my problem's always been that I need the progesterone because that's what helps the cramps and everything. And so, without getting too medical, y'all don't care about all this. So I went off the pill as of, you know, a week or so ago. Whenever, you know, start your period, go off the pill. And I'm going to start taking progesterone days 15 through 25, I think, 10 days out of the month. I had to go get it from a compounding pharmacy. And anyway, I'll let you know how that is. Hopefully that works for me then and takes care of my symptoms from PMS, and then hopefully it will take care of any other lingering symptoms I may have, since, you know, my thyroid is in check now, at least on paper, you know. It's good. So that's where I'm at, hormonal wise, health wise. If any of you guys take like a natural progesterone and not the cream or anything, because I tried that years ago and it didn't do anything, and they actually, this is a pill. I don't know if I said that I'm going to be taking, because I've read creams are kind of unreliable sometimes and you don't always get kind of the same dose and all that. But anyway, I know every doctor thinks differently on that. Let me know if any of you guys take it and if it has helped. So that's where we're at with that. I feel like there's been so much other going on. I really need to sit down and film a video today. I thought I was going to, and then just too much is going on. My mom just got out of the hospital. I haven't mentioned this at all. She just got out of the hospital, had surgery last week. I didn't go down there just because we both talked about it, and she'd rather us come when she wasn't just laying in a hospital for several days, even though I kind of felt guilty not going, but yet understood. We both talked about it, so it's not like, you know, I just decided not to go. So anyway, she got home yesterday and was feeling so much better, so I've talked to her. But so that's been something we have been dealing with a little bit. And but I wanted to say, I'm at the post office because I need to get some more stamps. I'm dropping off a couple of Stella and Dot catalogs, some last ones people had requested, and some thank yous. So I have my sparkle studs in, and I was so happy that, I mean, I feel like everybody that wanted them, that didn't get them the time before, got to order them, because even as of this morning, now of course when you guys see this they may be sold out, it seemed like people were still able to order them. So I'm so happy that those of you that wanted them got them. I did order a couple of pairs, so if any of you come, you know, they end up selling out, and a few weeks down the road, if you need some, I'll let you know. And so anyway, and it's so dreary, I swear. I don't think we've seen the sunshine in I don't know how many days. Y'all, I don't know what we did without backup cameras. I have a really good one. I mean, I can see better in the backup camera than I can turning my head, because it's, you know, like the fisheye lens. So especially in a parking lot, you can see like around a car, where if you turned, you couldn't. I love it. So anyway, I know, because I've often thought recently about, well, I'd say the last few months, I'm starting to get the new car itch again. It happens to me about every 3 years. But then I look at cars and I'm like, well, I don't like them any better than this one. This one has like every single amenity you could possibly imagine. And you get used to that stuff, and then you go look at other cars, you're like, oh, it's nice, but anyway. But yeah, I should have known that. That's why I swear I should like lease a car, because every 3 years I'm gonna want a new car. So I've had this when it was 3 years in June. It never fails, every 3 years. And before that, if you'd asked me, I'm like, oh my God, no, I'd probably even buy another one of these, which not saying I wouldn't. I mean, it's a great car. I love it. I just start getting that itch a little bit of wanting something new, and cars start getting my attention again a little bit. That's when I know. And my husband, he's always been off and on about getting a new car, but he's so cheap though. He has expensive taste, loves expensive things, but when it comes down to it, he's not going to spend the money on something. So who knows if he'll ever get a fun car, you know, sports car. He has a truck, by the way. I think I've mentioned that before. It's pretty old, but he still likes driving it, and it drives really nice, and luckily it's always ran really nice. So anyway, that reminds me, if you guys could get like any kind of fun car, what would you get? Because honestly, I don't even know what I would get. Like, if I could just go out and buy something, I don't even know what I would buy. Now it's starting to rain. Ugh. I'm so sick of this weather. I don't mind it being, you know, like cooler or anything. It actually says it's 72, so it's not like it's real cool, but I think because it's cloudy and it's always cool in the house, so it makes it feel cooler than it is. I totally feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, and now, because I kept thinking, oh, next time I do a vlog or I do an update, oh, I know, about moving. Oh my God, I haven't talked about that in months. Well, the last time I talked about moving was probably, what, in like June or something like that, when I did an update. And a few of you have asked me, you know, if there's any news on that, and no, there's not. My husband did apply to some jobs, you know, heard back on some of them didn't, you know. And a few months ago we just started thinking, you know what, just because we thought we wanted to move there to Charleston, that doesn't mean that's the plan for us. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen just because we're trying to make it happen. And then, you know, when jobs and stuff weren't coming through, it was like, and my husband has to look for a very specific kind of work and job. I mean, he does work for the government. I think most of y'all know that. He works for the Department of Defense. He's always worked for the government. So, you know, you're limited on areas and jobs that he would either want to do. I mean, he's gotten a lot of offers, because when you start applying to jobs and you're within certain government networks and all that, applying for jobs, they see that, and then they'll, you know, if you match up with criteria, they'll send you things. So he's gotten so many things in, but like places we don't want to go, or jobs, you know, that he doesn't want or anything. So that's kind of been funny. And so we've just, you know, started accepting, it's like, just because we're trying to make this happen doesn't mean it's supposed to happen for us. You know, that's just not in the plan for us. So we were just like, you know what, maybe we're not supposed to move, or we're not supposed to move now, or we're not supposed to move there, and we just kind of forgot about it, you know. So that's why there hasn't been any update with that. You know, we still did a lot of things around the house over the summer, you know, pressure wash, touched up things, just the little things, because we've lived in the house coming up on 5 years at Christmas. You know, you live in a house 5 years there, even though it was a brand new house then, you know, you start needing to do some things to it. And it's at that point, to me, I feel like it's starting to need updating. Like, to me, it's starting to, I don't know, just need a little things. Like, I'm kind of tired of the way things look, like cabinets and, you know, carpet, things like that, which I know seems silly, but so anyway, that's a major thing that I keep forgetting to update you guys on, is the moving. So we're not moving. We never ended up putting the house up for sale. We never found a job that, you know, seemed just right. So anyway, but what's funny is he has gotten like a couple of really cool offers that he's like, the job sounds really cool, but it's like somewhere either we don't want to move, or the middle of nowhere. We'll have to Google where it's at, and it's like, where the hell's that? You know, you never even heard of this place. It's like, no. So we don't have any cruises planned. I mentioned that, and I have to be honest, and some of you could probably tell if you've watched, you know, a lot of my other cruise vlogs, I just really didn't want to film a cruise vlog, but so many of you were looking forward to it, and I know would be disappointed. You know, it was just a new experience for us, and I hadn't been feeling real great before we went on the cruise. I just didn't want to do it. It felt like work. It felt like a job. And for any of you that have vlogged or anything like that, you literally take yourself out of the moment and have to go, oh, wait a minute, let me pull out the camera and film. So anyway, I just really didn't feel like it, so I'm surprised I had any footage to put together. But we don't have any cruises planned right now. We had talked about doing one around Christmas, but now we're gonna go to my mom and dad's in Florida instead, because my mom probably still isn't gonna be up to doing a vacation. So that's the plan right now, is just going to Florida at Christmas, and hopefully it's nice enough weather. That would be great, because you never know at Florida at Christmas. I mean, it's been cold, it's been hot. I mean, we've been there at Christmas before where it was so hot and humid, it was like terrible, you know? You'd think, oh, that'd be nice at Christmas, but no. I remember I had like a really bad sinus headache, and it was like so humid you didn't want to do anything. You just never know down there. So that is the plan so far. But yeah, we're already thinking about other cruises, because it's funny, sometimes we'll get off a cruise and we'll be like, okay, we're totally over it, we're not gonna go on one for a while, and then some of them we get off of and we're already planning the next one, because we're like, we're dying to go again. And I feel like that's how I am again right now. Like, I'm like, okay, I want to go. I don't even care where it's going, I just want to go on a cruise. And that's how we, you know, I've said before, sometimes it's just about going somewhere, because we like being on the ship and being out on the water. That's kind of what it's about for us. So anyway, nothing planned, because a few of you have asked me that. We'd like to go to our two big ones that we want to do. We want to do Panama Canal. We want to do like Canada, New England. But of course, Canada, New England, you're very limited in the months you can go. Most of them only do like October, November, or September to November, so you're very limited. And for the past several years, we've already had plans in the fall. For years, we were always going to my brother's to watch my nephews play football at that time of year. This year, we already had the, you know, California cruise planned, so we would love to do that. So maybe next year we'll finally get to do that, because it just never seems to work out timing wise. And then we want to do Panama Canal. It's always so freaking expensive, and you're very limited with that kind of on a good season to go. I'm in the drive-thru, by the way.
How may I help you?
Hi, can I get a bacon ranch salad crispy with a medium Diet Coke?
Anything else?
That's it.
$7.97 is the first window. Thank you.
Thank you. I felt lazy today about lunch, and I was already going to be out, and I sadly have been on a Diet Coke kick again. I go through these phases and then I won't drink it for months. It disgusts me. Sometimes I just crave it. And McDonald's has the best Diet Coke. Those of you that drink Diet Coke, you totally know this. And for those of you that don't, you think, oh, Diet Coke's Diet Coke. No, I don't know what McDonald's does. It's the best. Which fountain's always better, but I don't know, something about Diet Coke at McDonald's is good. And then you'll get it some other times and I'll think it tastes like so weird and salty almost, or strange. Yeah, I have to be in the mood for a Diet Coke, like I said. Hi. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.
I feel like my throat is bothering me today too, so I feel like sometimes when I have like sinusy issues, because it's been humid the last few days, sinus issues, I feel like that's when I want a Diet Coke. Like, it just tastes good. You need something in the back of your throat. As gross as that sounds, like carbonation, I'm guessing.
There you are. Just about just a minute.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. I think I shared a picture with y'all one time on Instagram of a McDonald's salad I got one time. my God, it was so pretty. It was like, it was really nice. I only get salads at a few places. And it's funny because I don't really like McDonald's. That would be my last choice if I had to get fast food. I like usually Chick-fil-A or Wendy's, but McDonald's has really good salads. And I always get crispy chicken on salads when I'm out at a restaurant. Now at home, I will grill it, but I'm really weird about grilled chicken out. I think it looks funky. It just sometimes looks strange, so I can't deal with it. And it's usually more, not as dry if you get it crispy. So that's my little odd things about when I get salads out and why. But yeah, we love, you know, grilled chicken on our salad at home. But yeah, I will not get grilled chicken most of the time out at a restaurant, regardless if it's fast food or not. So anyway, hopefully this one looks good. That just remind me, when I drink out of a straw, I always put my tongue like down, like I don't put my lips usually on the straw. I do that to help prevent putting my lip color on the straw, because that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves and something that grosses me out. But people do it everywhere, and I don't know if it's just they're not aware or they think, I don't know, don't think anything of it like I do. I can't stand lip marks, like your lip gloss, your lipstick on a cup or a straw. That just grosses me out. And then to keep putting your lips like on that gooped up lipstick, gooped up cup or straw, like, ew, wipe it off. So when y'all are just finding out all kind of my weird obsessions I have. So that's why I drink out of a straw like that. And then plus that, it helps me not like purse my lips together as much, because Lord knows you don't need to add any more lines the older you get, you know. And anyway, I'm just babbling now, but isn't that what vlogs are about? Just as things, you know, come to mind. It's like you're sitting right here in the car with me. That's what it's supposed to be about. So I've missed doing the car vlogs. Hopefully, since I have my phone figured out and I have remembered to grab my little holder out from the very back of my car, maybe I'll remember to do them a little more often now, because I know it's been probably several months since I've done one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you listening to me babble, and we'll see you next time.